Hey folks, welcome back to the Intimacy Talk. Let's get real here. You've tried everything, haven't you? You bent over backwards for this person, shifted priorities, and probably even lost a bit of yourself in the process. You were always there, ready to drop anything, make things easier, and show them your value. You answered their calls, gave them support, and went out of your way. But what did they do in return? They walked all over you, treating your kindness like something they were entitled to, rather than something they should have appreciated. They ignored your efforts, treated you as replaceable, and took every bit of care you gave as if it was just expected. You tried talking, reasoning, maybe even pleading for some acknowledgement. And each time, that rejection stung a little deeper, didn't it? It felt like the harder you tried, the more invisible you became, as though they simply couldn't see what you were offering. But now, there's one powerful option you've yet to fully embrace: silence. Imagine you just disappear from their radar. No calls, no texts, no just checking in. That quiet absence can be louder than any words you might say. When the one they thought would always be there fades out of sight, your silence starts to speak. Maybe they'll keep up a brave face in public, acting as though they're unbothered. But when the day quiets down and there's nothing left to distract them, the emptiness you left will hit hard. That's when regret starts to sink in. Silence, in moments like these, can be your most powerful tool. When you choose to be silent, it forces them to confront the reality of their choices. When you were around, they took that support, that presence for granted, assuming it would always be there. Now, it's time to let them feel what it's like when it isn't. So, before we dive into exactly how silence shifts everything, let's take a moment for a quick task. Hit that like button if you're finding these insights valuable, and drop today's affirmation in the comments. *Silence is my superpower star. Because, as the philosopher Epictetus once wisely said, first say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. Don't hold back on reclaiming this moment for yourself. Write it down if it helps. Say it out loud. Silence is my superpower. Alright, let's dive into how silence can be your greatest ally. Step 1. Letting them realize you're gone. When you step back, stop checking in, and remove your presence from their life, they'll start to feel it. They might carry on, pretending everything's okay, but that missing piece, the warmth and comfort you brought, won't be easy to replace. Now, here's where it's tempting to reach out. Maybe send a quick text to remind them you're still there. But remember, breaking that silence undoes all the power you've created. Silence only works if you stick to it. Often, people don't realize what they have until it's gone. So let them sit with the quiet. Let them feel the emptiness. This isn't about waiting around to see if they'll reach out. It's about taking back your time and energy, redirecting it towards yourself. Step 2. Harnessing silence to build your own strength. Silence doesn't just mean you stop talking to them. It's about how you use the time and space that comes with it. Instead of waiting by the phone, channel that energy into building yourself up. Think of it as an opportunity to grow, to work on yourself. You're no longer the person who gives endlessly without receiving in return. This silence is a test, not just for them, but for you too. What will you do with the newfound focus? Redirect it. Make yourself stronger. Develop your own goals. Find hobbies. Deepen friendships with people who actually appreciate your presence. When they see you thriving, that silence becomes more powerful than any message you could send. Step 3. Watching their mask of indifference crumble. Now, they'll try to act unaffected, maybe even put on a show on social media, posting pictures with friends, laughing, trying to act like they're unbothered. This mask of indifference, it's a defense, a bluff. Deep down, they feel the shift. But as long as you don't break your silence, that facade will wear thin. We often let their calm exterior shake us. We think, maybe they don't care, maybe they never did, but indifference is often a shield, something people hide behind when they're afraid of losing control. It's hard for them to admit they're missing you, so they put on a mask and try to convince themselves and everyone else that they're fine. Let them. Your silence is doing exactly what it needs to do, so don't let their show of confidence get to you. Step 4. Dealing with their attempt to fill the void. Some people might try to replace you with someone new, thinking they can fill the gap left by your absence. They'll jump into new relationships or spend time with other people, hoping it will take away the sting. But make no mistake, it's a distraction. True connections can't be swapped out like a spare part, and that new presence will never quite measure up. For you, seeing them with someone else might be painful, but remember, it's not about you. It's about their fear of facing themselves. They're using someone else as a shield to avoid dealing with the emptiness. If they were genuinely fine, they wouldn't need anyone to fill that void. Silence lets you see who they really are, and if they're not willing to grow, that's not someone you need in your life. Step 5. When regret starts to settle in. Now that they've had time to feel the weight of your absence, regret starts to make its way in. They'll look back on the things you did, the times you showed up, and realize that they let something rare slip away. Maybe they won't say it out loud. Maybe they'll even still try to act like they're fine, but deep down, they're feeling it. Regret is one of the hardest feelings to carry, especially when it's for something that could have been easily cherished and kept. When regret settles in, they can't avoid it. It follows them, lingers in their quiet moments, and haunts them with the whats and if onlys. And by then, it's too late. Your silence made them face their own choices and actions, and that's a reality they'll have to confront. Step 6. When their world begins to unravel. Finally, the silence has taken its toll. They're left to face the consequences of treating someone irreplaceable like they were disposable. They can try to fill their days with new people or distractions, but without you, there's something missing that they can't shake. This unraveling is the last stage. Now they see what they've lost and feel the impact fully. So, folks, if you're still wrestling with doubt, trying to decide if this silence is worth it, remember, you're not waiting for them to realize your worth. You're reclaiming it. Silence is powerful because it lets the truth rise to the surface, both for you and for them. Affirm it with me again. Silence is my superpower, stick to it, and let your growth speak louder than any words could. And remember, if they can't see your value in your silence, they never valued you in the first place.